Hi everyone, welcome to Uma's Educational Blogs. So, from today, I will start a series on active and passive voice. And in this whole series, you are going to learn how to identify an active and passive voice, how you can convert an active into passive or passive into active, and what are the necessary things that you have to keep in mind while solving questions on this particular topic. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I want you to read these two sentences so that you can understand what they are trying to convey you. Mother gave me an advice. I was given an advice by my mother. So you can see that both the sentences are conveying the same meaning, but they are written in a different structure. In the first sentence, the subject is mother and the subject is active, which means the subject is doing the action of giving her son an advice. But in the second sentence, the subject I, that is her son, is inactive or passive. Why? Because he is doing nothing. He is just receiving the result of action. Receiving what? An advice. Now, in these two sentences, the police beat the thief or the thief was beaten by the police. So, now again in the first sentence, the police is doing the action of beating. It means the police is active. But the thief is inactive or passive because he is doing nothing but receiving the result of action. He was beaten. In the last two sentences, the cat drank the milk was drunk. Here again, the cat is active because it is doing the action of drinking the milk, and the milk was drunk. The milk is obviously inactive, passive. It has nothing to do over here. So, what is active voice and what is passive voice? In an active voice, the subject does the action or the subject is the doer of action. In passive voice, the subject does not do any action but receives the result of action. The cat drank the milk. Here the cat was the doer of action. So the sentence is written in active voice. Here. Now the police beat the thief. The police was active. Why? Because he was doing the action of beating. And mother gave me an advice. This sentence is also written in active voice. Why? Because the subject was active. She was doing the action of giving an advice. And all this next sentences, here also I was given an advice. The thief was beaten, the milk was drunk. All these three sentences are written in passive because the subject is doing nothing but receiving the result of action. Now, many of you have this misconception that passive voice always contains the preposition by, and this is entirely a wrong conception. Whenever you convert a sentence into passive or active, you must identify the sentence correctly, whether it is written in active or passive. And for that, you will follow this rule. You will try to understand whether the subject is doing anything or not. So, I know him. I have consciously given you this sentence to show you that passive voice may not always contain the preposition by. He is known to me. So, here the verb has taken the preposition to. Tears filled her eyes. Her eyes were filled with tears. So, here the verb filled has taken with. I shall have completed this project by this Monday. So you can see, you can get confused over here. Okay, so active voice also takes by. Yes, it has taken by to indicate time, future time, completion of an action. The project will have been completed by this Monday by me. So from now on, do not identify a sentence whether it is written in active or passive on the basis of the preposition by. But understand it. Read the sentence carefully to understand whether the subject is doing anything or not. So this was all about how you can identify active and passive voice. I hope you have enjoyed the learning experiences with me. Stay tuned with me. Thank you. Goodbye.